plays. Like, you make bad plays too. I'm not saying you're a perfect player. I'm not saying anybody's a perfect player. But that's sort of the point. Nobody's a perfect player. And in order to play well, you have to play around your teammates making bad plays. Repeat the timer thing. Absolutely. So everybody in their head has a timer, and that timer is basically, this is how long I'm going to give my teammate to go for the ball before I go for the ball. And if they don't go for the ball in this amount of time, it means that they're not going, because I would have gone for the ball if in that amount of time. But if your timer is off sync with your teammates, if they're faster than you or if you are faster than them, it can cause a lot of problems rotation-wise because you get a lot of double commits. You'll think, oh, they're not going, and then they're a little bit slower than you, and so they'll go. Because of that timer, I kind of don't know where to be. Exactly. So then, right. So then you just go for it. And what's happening is you feel everybody being really slow. Like, you're feeling the slowness, but you're not adjusting to it. You're not adapting to it, and you're still trying to... Like, there are times when you can play fast. And when that is when, like, you're the first man, or for instance, you recognize that you can cut rotation and beat your teammate to the ball. Like, if you are closer... So let's back up a little bit. So you win out this challenge, you grab the boost. Now, you couldn't have been any closer in this instance, but if you were closer, it would be okay to cut your teammate off, because that's just a goal if you're closer to the ball. But because you're so far away, like, cutting your teammate off is really bad. And it's especially bad because you're not even hitting this ball. Like, there's no way that you're going to get to this ball before Flakes. So, like, not only is Vikings also going for it, but Flakes is going for it, and he's going to beat you to it. But you couldn't necessarily, like, see him before you took off. So that wasn't all bad. So, like, right here, if you're a Champ 3 player, you are 100% capable of making this clear by just hitting the ball at its point of contact on the wall. And you have the boost to do it, and you can even probably pick up that corner boost while you're out there. But instead, you're, like, really hesitant right here. And this is something that, like, Champ 3 and Grand Champ level players just do instinctively. But here you're kind of hesitating. So, right, you don't trust your teammates on defense, but if you trust yourself to make this clear, it doesn't matter if you trust your teammates on defense or not. And also, like, right, so what you're doing is you kind of have to assume that your teammates are going to be playing well, and also assume that your teammates are going to be not playing well, if that makes sense. Like, you really have to try your best to get a good read on what their particular abilities are. And if you recognize the fact that, like, they are going to be slow in going for balls on offense, you have to play around that. But you cannot not trust your teammates. That's the thing. Like, you really just can't not trust your teammates. If you're not trusting your teammates, then your rotations are going to be bad the entire game. You're going to make bad decisions. You're going to make bad hits. You're not going to make hits that you should have made. Right now, you have 2 teammates behind you, and you say you have to, like, so another thing to recognize is that your opponents are not as skilled as you're used to. So it's not like you're playing against Champ 3s and they're going to expose your lower level teammates. Like, your teammates, your opponents are just as bad as your teammates. So, like, if you go for this, the best thing that happens is you get a clear, and that's really good. The worst thing that happens is that you whiff, and you literally have, let's pop out into director cam, you literally have MK behind you and Vikings behind you. let's keep watching. So what I see a lot from you as well is just, like, kind of getting stuck underneath the ball like this. So, like, he hits the ball out, and you're just, like, you're really hesitant here. Like, you could potentially... I feel that because I'm not confident in my mechanical ability either. It's because it's been hard to consistent. Oh, you're using Rizzo's control? Why are you using Rizzo's controls? That's insane. I don't... Oh, your controller is broken. See, okay, this is the other thing that I've really, like, I had the exact same problem. I was, like, solidly in Champ 3, then I switched my controls in 3v3, and I just tanked. Like, I tanked all the way down to Champ 1. And you're going to feel uncomfortable with your controls for a while until you get comfortable with them. Like, it's going to be a challenge for you for a significant amount of time. You've had these controls for 50 to 100 hours. Well, when you're... My guess is that, like... My guess is that you're not totally confident, and so when you're not having a good day, the controls are, like, coming back to haunt you. Like, you're just not completely... You're not completely there yet, and that's something that happens. I mean, you're, like, in times when you feel confident, the controls won't affect you at all. But in times when you're not feeling confident, the controls will start to affect you more. And, like, confidence is sort of like, it's like a multiplier. I don't know how to say this. Like, the less confidence you have, the worse you'll be playing, and then you'll have even less confidence, and then you'll play worse, and then you'll have even less confidence, and you'll play worse. It, like, kind of stacks on top of itself, right? Like, a tiny shred of self-doubt can just turn into a mountain of self-doubt over the course of a few games. And I'm seeing this, like, from you right here. Because, like, you could totally take control of that ball, and then you just end up not doing it. And, like, even here, as your teammate is going for this ball, like, you're being pretty passive. I mean, that's really nitpicking. Take a break from comp and focus on mechanical practice. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I mean, when I feel like I'm getting into a rut, I usually just try to take, like, a day or two break. Because sometimes you're just playing the game over and over and over again. You fall into these, like, same bad habits. So I do try to take a little bit of a break sometimes. See, that's a good hit. Yeah, when you know that it's your ball, you're doing a great job. Just like the guy earlier, actually. So, like, here's a situation where, your teammate, you have one teammate who's pretty far out of the play. You have one teammate who's flipping back with no boost. Right here is a time where you really need to, like, slow down and get a good hit. And instead, like, you sort of, I don't know if it's panic, but you're kind of panicking. a little bit. Um, like right here, it's such a delicate moment for your team. I guess is the best way to put it. But you have the ability right now to make it all okay if you get a nice hard hit, or even if you control the ball. Like, this is all you. Because the ball has basically just been passed out to you, and you are the sole, um, you're the sole determiner of whether this is going to be a bad play for your team, or you're going to be able to continue the attack. And you just get this, like, really, really weak touch straight to your opponent. And, like, what I would have done here is, one, get a stronger touch, and try to hit it, like, in between. Because you've got this big open space, like, in between Recon and this other guy that you could sort of hit it to. And it would take, like, Recon would be able to fill in there, but it would still take him longer. Or, alternatively, like, right here after he hits it. That's what you were trying to do, but you messed up. Yeah, so right here, if he hits it, like, I wouldn't even be doing that. I wouldn't even be doing that. What I would be doing for you, what I would be doing in this situation, and what I would recommend, is, actually just taking control of this ball. Because notice how slow it is. Like, how easy would it be for you to just pop underneath that, and grab it up in a dribble, and then, like, flick it, like, boy, oh, you just pull off something insane, dude. Send me a clip of it or something. I'd love to see it. Nice job. So you just want to buy time for your team right now. Like, you might not even be thinking necessarily score, because, like, one guy's rotating back with no boost, one guy's, like, way up there. So, like, grabbing the ball and just buying some time, letting your guy behind you get boost, letting your guy in front of you get back. These are the things that you need to be thinking about in this situation, especially. And if you're reading the play and you're getting a good read on the play, that's already on your mind while you're going for this ball. It doesn't help the fact that your opponent's literally directly behind the ball, so it's difficult for you to see him. But so now they're on attack, and you get a situation that very easily right here could have ended up in them scoring. And then you miss the boost. I don't know if this is like, oh, you were going for that challenge. That's why you missed the boost. Good job to pick up pennies here. But like, and this is another situation where your timer is just off. So like right here, your teammate isn't like booming the ball upfield, so you're being really conservative, even though if you look like upfield, like you have the knowledge right here, you know that flaws you know that all of your opponents are, I just want to make sure that you actually do know this. Right, so you see all of your opponents right here, and you see that one of them is behind you, and the other two are going back. Your teammate has a million years, and you're like still being defensive. Like you're still turning around right here. Honestly, you didn't know, and that's the thing. Like, but you could have known, and you know, if you were paying attention to what was happening, you would have known. Like you see right in the split second, in this split second right here, both of your opponents, you've just seen the guy go past you on your right, and then you see both of your opponents flip back before you switch back to ball cam. You just assume that you're under pressure. Right. And that's the thing, like, your brain is running 1,000,000 miles an hour, and and this is where I think, like, taking a break would be a really good idea for you, because your brain has gotten so used to this like one type of play, which is just like fast, 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 and all you're thinking about is I have to be fast, I have to be fast, I have to be fast, and you're not actually like getting in there, analyzing the play, um, and really like looking at what's actually going on. Instead, you're just like fast, 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 and it really affects you in a negative way. Because yes, you have to be fast, but you also have to make the right decision while you're being fast. Okay, so I have absolutely no idea what this whole like flip sequence was from you. Like this like reverse half flip into I don't even know what. Let's like okay, so you're here. What happens? MK does something stupid. And then Vikings also does something stupid. And then you're just like in this really awkward position where like if you recovered faster, then this would have been fine. Yeah, that was really laggy. But like if you'd recovered faster, think about you recovering faster, and we don't talk about those. Like think about you recovering faster and you're already out there, right? But this was a lot of your teammates just making like your teammates both whiffed and you were in kind of a bad position. Slow down and stay calm. So like if you're actively having to stay calm in a ranked match, that's probably another sign that you need to take a break. A lot of Rocket League is psychological, and if you're not in a good mental state, you're not going to be playing well. Yep. I mean, and I have that too. Like that's happened to me before, where you'll just like drop a bunch of points, you don't know why, you're like struggling. So we can talk about this sequence, because this whole sequence, from all the way from right here when you go up to this is just a really lazy rotate back. You could have done that a lot faster. Then you fail to recognize the fact that your teammate isn't up. Like your teammate's back getting boost, and like you could easily have turned around right here if you were really like thinking about the situation. But you're kind of like locked into I'm rotating back, my teammate's gonna be rotating in, and like assuming that your teammate's gonna be in the perfect position, which he's not. So like you could have easily turned around right there, and like that might have been a goal. Probably not, but it might have been a goal. Then right here, you go back even further when your teammate like obviously has this like right here. You're like still going backwards, and then you finally turn around. Yeah, just send me the replay. this is a pretty good challenge, but just that whole sequence was very, I don't know, very lazy. I'm a bad player. Honestly, I have recent replays that probably look way worse than this. Don't feel bad. Uh-oh, he's AFK. And we're tilted, boys. We're in full tilt. Full tilt right here. Yeah, that is a rather large oof, my dude. Like, and this is a situation where let's picture a world in which you're not AFK for a good replay to see myself. Let's picture a situation where you're not AFK, and you from right here go and get those 2 pennies, and then you're already front post, like right probably about now, and then you're challenging the ball right here, and then the ball doesn't even hit the backboard because it's already hit you, and even if it does, your teammate knows where he stands. At that post, I got a Windows update. That sucks. So, and then the other thing is, like, because you didn't go for this, your teammate has no idea, like, what's going to happen. He's behind you, and he's like, well, he's not in good position either, to be honest. Wait, recon? What the fuck is that? Oh, that's somebody's name. I'm retarded. So, if this guy, let's look at it from this guy's perspective. He demos recon, he gets back into net, and he thinks that you're going for it right here. He thinks that you're going for it, and then you don't, and if he knows that you're not going for it, maybe he goes up for this ball. Like, I don't know if he does, but maybe he does. What's up, Moz? How's it going, my dude? Ooh, that's a big oof. So honestly, it's like, what I'm seeing here is like a bunch of little things all adding up. So it's like tiny mistake, tiny mistake, tiny mistake, tiny mistake, tiny mistake, and then you get scored on. It's not like any one thing. A lot of the time in this replay, I mean, there are some instances where you make like rather large and obvious mistakes, but a lot of it is just like almost nothing that you're doing is like perfect, and so, you know, these little mistakes are just adding up over time. Like, you miss the boost right here, then you don't realize that you're like technically the last person back, then your challenge right here is really bad. Moz, off to play some threes. I'll tell you how I do. Alright, GG's, my dude. Good luck with your threes games. You could just tell, like, you know, the missing of the boost, not realizing that you're the last man back. MK like does a horrible job and turns here, but if like him turning here doesn't matter if you actually make a good hit on this ball. And like if you had grabbed the boost earlier, maybe you're here already, and then you can get a much better read on this hit. Like, you recognize that you're supposed to be going for this, but it's just way too late. Like, if you're up for that earlier, like MK's commit doesn't even matter. It's so much of the little things. And just throughout this replay, like, a lot of times... Yeah, you were focused on your teammate. And, you know, maybe this is just a situation where, like, I have hindsight, right? I know that you missed, but, like, right from this situation, you could probably tell, like, both of your teammates are up. It's bouncing off the backboard. There's nobody behind you. If you hit this and you score, it's amazing. But you're just, like, you don't have the confidence. And, you know, there are some days when you just don't have it. And maybe, like, this day for you is just one of those days. And it's just kind of unfortunate because, like, honestly, this, like, you being a god here versus you being trash is the difference between you winning and losing this game. It's as simple as that. I mean, if you're a Squishy Muffins, you score this. If you're, you know, a GC, you score this. If you're, playing well and you're you probably score this. But you're not playing well, and, you know, you're just having this bad day. But on, you know, it's on top of I'm trash. Well, okay, so, but it's on top of everything else, right? It's on top of the fact that you missed the boost earlier. It's on top of the fact that your rotations have been lackluster all game. It's on top of the fact that you're not reading your teammates well, you know? And I'm being really hard on you. Like, if you were a lower ranked player and you were doing this, I wouldn't be being as hard on you as I am. But, like, I know that you have the capability to play much better than this. And I can see it. There's, like, little flashes of it throughout your gameplay. But unfortunately, like, you're just having a bad day. And, like, it happens. It happens to everybody. Everybody has a bad day. But there are things that you can do in order to improve your consistency and mitigate those bad days. And so I guess we will close this by talking about those things. Number one, really try to understand that your teammates are not, like, pro players. Your teammates aren't gods. Your teammates are gonna miss, like, shots all the time, and you need to be prepared for that and respect their abilities. And also, like respect the fact that they are not perfect, but also respect them in the sense that, like, expect them to make shots that and make saves and be in the defense that, like, they have shown that they are capable of. You know, if you lose a challenge, that's fine, but lose it in a way so that you know that your teammate is going to be able to have an easy clear rather than a difficult clear. And then as far as, like, yourself and being more consistent, really, like, you're not, like I said, you're not going to be consistent on every day. But what you should really try to do is have the rotation in mind and understand where you are in the rotation, and then have confidence in your position rather than having confidence in your ability to hit the ball. If you have confidence in your position, regardless of whether you hit the ball or not, you'll feel better going for it. And when you go for it, even if you don't get it, it's better to be in good position and fail than it is to be in bad position and fail. And so, like, recognizing the fact that despite the fact that you're not playing really well, you're still in good positions, you're still making good plays, or you're still, when I say making good plays, I mean making the right decisions, even if you're not hitting the ball exactly how you want to be hitting it. So, yeah, that's just about it. Like, those are the two things. One, understanding your teammates, understanding their strengths and weaknesses, and then two, like really trying to be a part of your team in terms of rotations and having confidence in where you are in the rotation and going for the ball, even if it means that you're not hitting it exactly perfectly. Because the more that you go for the ball in the correct spot, the more your teammates will trust you. Even if they don't trust you to make the hit, they'll at least trust you to go, and you'll avoid those double commits that can be so costly in threes. Do you have any, like, final questions or thoughts? He says yes. So I'm assuming you're writing the question. You don't know how to make that change. So keep going, keep going. In between rotation. Right, so the point is not to the point is not to, like, change any particular situation. The point is to, like, change your overall mindset in terms of how you're approaching the rotation, and, like, you really want to have exactly what you're doing in mind. Like, let me just fire up a threes game, and I'll kind of try to tell you what I mean. Mod says I have a great replay. Absolutely, dude. I'll check it out for you. I'm just gonna play one game of threes. Oh yeah, boyo. I'll check out I'm assuming these are all in my Discord, so I'll just hit up my Discord. By the way, if you guys aren't on my Discord yet, you should check it out. I check all that stuff frequently. Man, it's taking ages to find the game. Probably because everybody's out there watching RLCS. Oh, got him. Flicks are garbage today. Garbage. Eh. Alright. So what I like to do is I like to, like, live comm exactly what I'm thinking. And hopefully that'll give you sort of an idea of what you can do. And sometimes if I find that I'm really struggling, I like legitimately just talk to myself, and like make sure that I know exactly what I'm doing in the rotation. Oh my god, misfused twice. So my teammate's up. I know that this is my ball. I'm gonna go for it. I missed. I know my teammate's about to hit it. He didn't get exactly the hit that I want, so I'm rotating back. My teammate was going for bumps, so I didn't commit there. I'm rotating back to net. I'm not gonna push up into the middle too much because I don't have a lot of boost. My teammate's gonna go for that. He should hit it. But I was prepared if he wasn't. I was figuring that he would hit it, but I was still like back far enough. I was in basically the perfect position right there where I would have been able to recover if he didn't hit it. But I was still able to get the goal when he did. My teammate's rotating back. I'm going to take up position in the mid here. That's over my head, so I let my teammate go get it. He makes a hit that like means that he's not going to get it again, so I go. Try to get a good center. Unfortunately, nothing happens. I noticed that they're not going, so I went up for that ball. Backing up because I know that Robert had a better challenge than I did. I didn't believe in my opponent right there. I know my teammate has it. So both my teammates are up. I'm being really passive right now. I noticed my other teammate's turning back, so I'm gonna go in for that. I wouldn't have been able to score it no matter how close I'd been, but had my opponent messed up, it would have been. I noticed that my teammate's on the wall there, so I don't go up for that hit. He knew that I was in a bad position, so he went up on the wall. My teammate's a little bit too far back there. And I was expecting him to actually go on that, and I didn't turn around, even though I probably should have. It ends up working out, though. I probably should have left that for a teammate, but it's fine. Trying to interfere on my way back. Neither of my teammates is turning, which is kind of a bad thing. We get kind of lucky right there. I probably should have turned around if I'd recognized that my teammates weren't turning around sooner there. So like right there, even though I whiffed, like I still went for it when it was my ball, and my teammate felt confident in going after I had whiffed. You don't want to create confusion for your teammates, like I just did right there. So I noticed that my teammate was getting bumped in goal and that he wouldn't be able to get up to that as fast as I could. And I just decided to clear it. Even though I didn't get the best clear, it was still better than my opponent getting a touch on the ball. I went up for that even though it wasn't like a super high percentage thing, because I knew that I was the first man and my teammates would see me going up. So even though my teammates are making mistakes, because my rotations are solid, because I'm behind them, I'm able to make up for those mistakes. And even though I'm making mistakes, because I'm going at the right time, my teammates have time to react after I've made the mistake. Oh, one of them left the match. See, this is what happens. This is what happens. Good rotations mean your teammate or your opponents leave the match. So right there, that was like a really tight game, and like my teammates and I, we all made a bunch of mistakes. But the point is that because our rotations were solid, we ended up still coming out with the victory because we always had somebody behind in order to back up the mistakes. And that's the difference between like Champ 3 level gameplay and lower level gameplay, is like you just don't have that same I guess it's trust, but it's more of just like more just confidence, like confidence in what you're going for, even if you're not hitting the ball that well. Yeah, I mean, yeah, my teammates were good, but I mean, if you notice, like, all of us made a ton of bad mistakes that game. Like, a lot of bad mistakes. The point though is that, like, right, but the point is that your teammates can't cover for you if you're not a part of the rotation. Let me check out that replay from Boyo, because he had something cool that he wanted me to take a look at. It's called "I'm Fucking Insane." I'll be the judge of that, Boyo. Yeah, no problem, Alpha Centauri. No problem, dude. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Watch it back, post it to your YouTube. I can highlight it if you want. Whatever you want to do. Absolutely do it. And if you have like specific questions for me in the future, like go ahead and hit me up. All right, let's find this replay. Let's find this replay. Not my stats, my replays. I'm fucking insane. Let's see. Boyo. Go back. Oh, that's not even the one. Is it this one? Oh, it's the first one. Oh wait, just before the keyframe? The keyframe! Okay, I got you, fam. Alright, hold on.
30 seconds left on the clock.
Oh no. Oh no. This is too good. And then the freestyle bump. Ah, that poor man. That poor man. Ah! His life. You just ended his life. Yeah, Squishy, is that you? Rocket Dailies, fam. Rocket Dailies for sure. Oh, what a meme. Holy shit, what a meme. Good job. Good job. Alright. That's funny. That's some funny shit. Well, yeah, the save into the goal, that's pretty great. That's pretty great, honestly. I don't know. It's pretty good. Insane? Insane. 100%. 100% insane. Freestyle bump. Insane. For sure.